Let's begin with a price that, in a meaningful sense, does not actually exist. The Taylor Swift era's tour ticket on Ticketmaster in November of 2022 said it cost $49. This is the lowest tier, the upper bowl, the seat where you can technically see Taylor Swift, if you accept that she's going to be approximately the size of a thumbnail. At checkout, the same ticket cost $97. The extra $48 was a series of fees. There was a service fee of $36, a facility charge of $9, a processing fee of $3, and the breakdown of who exactly was being serviced or processed was not, and is not generally, made available to the person paying. There's a thing about the structure of those fees that, once you see it, makes the architecture of the entire modern concert business become startlingly visible. So let's look at it. In January of 2010, two American companies announced that they were going to merge. The first was Ticketmaster, which sold tickets. The second was Live Nation, which, at the time, owned about 140 large concert venues in the United States and managed the careers of a meaningful percentage of the country's touring musicians. The Department of Justice looked at this proposal and observed that the resulting company would own the venues, manage the artists, sell the tickets, and dominate American live music. The DOJ then approved the merger, with conditions which, 14 years later, the DOJ would sue the company for not following. This is not the first time someone noticed. In 1994, the band Pearl Jam, at the absolute peak of its fame, decided to go to war with Ticketmaster over exactly these fees. They filed a complaint with the Department of Justice, alleging a monopoly on ticket distribution. Two of them testified before a congressional subcommittee, and they tried to book an entire summer tour using only venues that did not use Ticketmaster. It did not work. The non-Ticketmaster venues were too few, too small, and too hard to string into a tour. In 1995, the Department of Justice quietly dropped its investigation. Pearl Jam went back to playing Ticketmaster venues because there was nowhere else to play. And the fees in the 30 years since have only gone up. Here is what the merger actually built. If you, this evening, decide to see a show at the Hollywood Palladium, the venue is owned by Live Nation. The promoter who booked the show is Live Nation. The ticket you buy is sold by Ticketmaster, which is also Live Nation. The artist on stage is, with non-trivial probability, managed by a Live Nation subsidiary. And the venue's concession stands and parking, also Live Nation. The interesting part is what happens at checkout. The ticket has a face value, the price the artist and venue agreed to charge. Then it has fees. The legal structure of the fees is, and this is the part to sit with, that the fees go primarily not to Ticketmaster, but to the venue. The venue then often shares the fees with the artist. Which is interesting because in many cases the venue and the artist and Ticketmaster are now the same company. There is a reasonable question here, which is, why don't they just raise the face value and skip the fees? The answer is that the face value is what gets advertised, what gets compared to other shows, what appears on the marquee. $49 Taylor Swift tickets read very differently than $97 Taylor Swift tickets, even if the second number is what you actually paid. This is a marketing technique with a name. Economists call it drip pricing. It works because the human brain anchors on the first number it sees and treats all subsequent numbers as adjustments to that anchor, even when the adjustments are larger than the anchor itself. So the face value stays low and the fees grow. In 2023, Live Nation reported that its average fee across all U.S. shows was about 27% of the face value. For some shows, the fees exceeded 50%. There's a second thing that happens when a popular ticket goes on sale. Approximately the instant the sale opens, the cheap tickets disappear. They do not disappear because 40,000 humans clicked buy at exactly the same millisecond. They disappear because thousands of automated scripts running on servers clicked buy first. These scripts then list the tickets on the secondary market, on StubHub, on Vivid Seats, on Ticketmaster's own resale platform, for 2, 3, sometimes 5 times the original price. Ticketmaster has, on several occasions, announced that they are cracking down on bots. They have also, in court filings, been documented operating their own scalping division, a small internal program named TradeDesk, which let favored brokers resell tickets at marked up prices and earn Ticketmaster a piece of the resale as well as the original sale. So if you buy a $49 ticket and the next day it resells for $400, Ticketmaster gets fees on both transactions. The face value is the same. The fees are different. It is worth saying that none of this is inevitable. In the United Kingdom and across much of the European Union, the law now requires what is called all-in pricing. The total price, fees included, has to be the number you see first. The same ticket that drips from $49 to $97 in America simply shows $97 up front the moment you look at it. And the resale market is treated differently too. In Ireland, reselling a ticket for more than its face value is simply banned. In parts of Australia, resale is capped at around 10% above face. The bots that flip a $49 ticket into a $400 ticket don't have a business model there, which tells you the scalping is a policy choice, not a law of physics. And as of 2024, the United States is finally catching up. The Federal Trade Commission passed what is informally called the junk fees rule, requiring that live event tickets and hotels show the total price, fees included, upfront. It took effect in 2025. Whether that actually changes the $97 number or merely changes the moment you find out about it is the open question, because the fee, remember, was never the bug in the system. The fee was the business. Once you see the pattern, you start to notice the architecture everywhere. A single company owns the marketplace, the inventory, and the resale floor. Stadium concessions, convention center hotels, airport food, cruise ship excursions. In each case, the price you see when you decide to participate is not the price you pay when you finish. In 2024, the Department of Justice, along with 30 state attorneys general, filed an antitrust lawsuit against Live Nation Entertainment. The lawsuit is still ongoing. The Eras tour is over. The fees, currently, are unchanged. Your concert ticket is not a concert ticket. Your concert ticket is a small permission slip, issued to you by a company that owns the venue, the artist, the marketplace, and the resale floor, to spend 2.5 hours at an event whose true price is a number that gets disclosed only at the end, after you have already taken a night off work. The lights, however, are quite nice.